morning, TFR.
Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Hi, this is Alan. I like Ironworks because it's where everybody knows your name, and they're always glad you came.
I love Ironworks with Josh, Walt and Zach. It's like sitting in your front room having a cosy chat with your best friends.
Hi, it's Diva here, and I just want you to know that Ironworks with Josh, Walt and Zach, it's definitely my favourite dose of reality. Come join the family and keep it flat.
Why sleep in when you could get your dose of iron in the morning? Listen to the Ironworks on TFR.
This is Enlightened Dawn. Roses are red, violets are blue. Iron Realm Media is the best on the plane. To this show, I will forever be true. You guys are truly the best, and I love you guys. I'm so thankful to have you in my life.
Do you like listening to space letters from Never a Straight Answer? Then tune in to The Ironworks with Zach, Walter, and Josh. Break clear of the fear on the Ironworks and become an Iron Scout.
It is Tuesday, my dudes.
It is Tuesday, my dudes, and happy Tuesday to you all. Welcome to the Ironworks right here on Truth Frequency Radio. My name is Josh Corey, and I am joined by two of my very good friends and co-hosts, starting off with Mr. Zachary Zabala. You may know him as Good Times for All over on YouTube. Zach, how was your weekend, sir?
Hey, Josh. Hey, that other guy we have here. Hey, everybody out there on YouTube or TFR land. Sorry, folks. I woke up at like 2 a.m. wide awake, and I had to fall back asleep. So I'm just, it's a weird one. No, it's a good weekend. Real good weekend. Zulu came by. He's on his way down to his Florida Flatlanta meetup. Flatlantica, I think they're calling it.
Nice.
Yeah, so he stopped by on his way down. He's going to stop by next weekend on his way back up for the, he'll be here the 21st.
Awesome.
Yeah, so we're going to watch the planets line up and all that kind of stuff. And yeah, should be fun. Got a little bit done. Lucas has my mind just reeling about the stuff we're talking about. Yeah, he's showing. I knew this was going to be great. It needs to happen organically, though. I don't know how to explain it. There's just so much that he knows that I have no idea about. And yeah, it's so awesome being able to pick his brain.
Well, I missed your show on Saturday, so my deepest apologies, but I'm going to definitely check it on the replay.
Yeah, it wasn't a bad one. Brought up a couple, key things about electricity, stuff we're probably going to nail down a little bit on everyone, until certain things are, understood, comprehended. I don't know how to put it, but there are things in this place that are here, and they make stuff happen. And we're going to show, at least maybe not the total cause, the hamster wheel on top of the cage spinning it. I don't know what's up there creating the electricity, but something is. So we're, it's been fun. It's been a lot of fun, digging into each other's brains and bouncing stuff back off.
Yeah, I'll be listening. Definitely listening today. We are also joined this morning by Mr. Walter Johnson, a.k.a. Flat Earth Head around the interwebs. Walter, I know you've been busy boy, but how was your weekend otherwise?
Well, first of all, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah, do you hear that hum?
Maybe a little bit. I forgot.
Yeah. I don't know. Something I moved this morning because I used the computer this weekend. I know this last Friday, and it didn't do any of this. So don't know what's going on with it. Problems with it. Not sure what's going on. I'll hopefully have a new one. Hopefully. Next day or so.
Fingers crossed.
I got my part in Monday. Yesterday at about 3 o'clock, I guess, 3:30, something like that. And it has begun. I completely finished tearing down the rest of the old computer, which was case managed and cable managed in quite unique ways. So I wasn't happy with the cable management that had been put into the case, so I completely undid all that. Figured out the power supply had been put in upside down, fixed that. Just all kind of fun stuff. So yeah, I'm learning. Still some things I'm not sure about going from one motherboard to another, but I did get a call from our buddy Jafroger yesterday afternoon, and he said he would help me technically walk my way through some of that as well. So who knows? This may be the big day. It may be today. I may be finished. It's a simple. I just have to finish tracing down a couple of things with RGB and stuff like that, and then get all the systems installed and BIOS updated, all those things you do. So I'm excited.
I'm excited for you. That's awesome.
I don't know what this noise that has happened, though. It's really, like, to you guys, I don't know what it sounds like. In my ear, it's like a really big noise that is not normal. So don't know. It took an extra long time to reset the computer this morning, so it's probably time for a new computer. Good thing I'm building one.
Good thing.
How are you, Josh? How was your weekend, sir?
It was uneventful. I was telling Zach earlier that I think Sunday was the first full lazy ass do nothing but lay around. I took 2 naps on Sunday just because I could. Just sitting there. I think Dixie was watching TV. I don't know. I was just fucking around on the phone, doing whatever. And I just said, you know what? I'm kind of tired. I'm just going to take a nap. So I did. Twice. Yeah, not a whole lot going on. I know our guest Donnie had a blast on Friday. He was super excited. For those of you that did not see it, it was a really awesome show. Hell, even Dixie showed up at our show. She hopped in and chat for the first time, which I thought was kind of cool. Yeah, other than that, everything was super duper quiet. It's yeah, work's going good. Dogs are good. David's good. Dixie's good. Josh is good. I got nothing. How are you all doing out there in TFR land? Good to see everybody in there in chat. I see Dawn and Alan and Lucas. Liz is there. Diva's there. Jason Jones is there. Good morning, all. And I know there's several more people there that either aren't chatting or keeping their heads down. And shout out to everybody listening back on the replay.
Absolutely, absolutely. Look, I'm probably going to have to duck out and come back in because trying to log into both our studio site and the YouTube site are giving me links that don't make sense. Secure problems, and I don't know what's going on. There's definitely something happening with this old computer of mine this morning, though. It took me forever to reset, as you guys know, trying to get me in before the show started, and now I'm not able to log into our vault for some reason.
It just did the same thing to me, which I thought was strange.
So you're having that problem too? Well, maybe it's not just me.
No, I think it has something to do with Chris's website, but I haven't tried to log into YouTube. YouTube didn't do it to me.
Okay, well, then I'll just go with it and see what happens, I guess.
Well, the Hayabusa 2 mission has completed.
Didn't know it started.
Today, Monday, December 14th, so yesterday, they opened the capsule for the first time since it touched down in Australia outback on December 6th, following its journey through space. So, okay, they got it December 6th. Did they have to wait for COVID quarantine or something? Did they have to spend a week in quarantine before they opened it?
Sounds like they just left it sitting out there in the elements. I just left it there in the
like
outback.
12 days.
We'll get it eventually. Nobody's going to take it.
But they just opened it, and they're hoping to find pieces of asteroid in it. Say you had pieces of asteroid already in there?
Right. Where would it have gone?
We're hoping it's asteroid pieces and not just pieces of Devon Island.
Oh.
But yeah, they're real excited. They're going to be studying,
Something.
some stuff.
They'll be studying. For sure.
So space is real, folks.
There you go.
There's your evidence. Yeah, they've cut back on the space stuff this last week for some reason. I haven't. Usually, it's nothing but space on when I go to my, the Google Chrome search engine. And if you just start scrolling down and don't search anything. Oh, never mind. Yeah, there it all is.
And there it is.
Yeah. Are they fuzzballs or are they hairless? That's the big question scientists are asking about black holes now.
Uh-huh. I saw that.
Well, Hank has a pretty hairy
black hole.
hole. Yeah.
Yeah, I put that in the show prep pile earlier. I'm trying to find it. Just because it was the stupidest headline. Where could it be? We put up a whole bunch of space lettuce that we just never gone through. Here we go. This was, I put this back on the 8th. It's about a week ago. Black holes may not be black holes at all. This according to Popular Mechanics. They may actually just be fuzzballs. There we go. What if string theorists have been right all along and black holes are just balls of yarn? These celestial rat kings, scientists say, represent a place where a huge bunch of fundamental strings have tangled together and can't be extracted. No, extricated. This sounds far out. Oh, God. But we don't understand a great deal about how black holes work to begin with. Positing a tangled string idea instead doesn't even require much of an ideological buy-in. Space.com's Paul Sutter explains the big mental tangle with black holes. Quote, black holes appear in Einstein's theory of general relativity, and by all means, they simply shouldn't exist. If a clump of matter crunches down to a tiny enough volume, then gravity can become overwhelmingly strong. Once a certain critical threshold is reached, the clump of matter just squeezes and squeezes, compressing down into an infinitely tiny point. Of course, there's no such thing as an infinitely tiny point. So this picture seems wrong. But in the mid-20th century, astronomers began to find objects that looked like black holes, acted like black holes, and probably smelled like black holes too. Jesus. For decades, scientists thought what went into black holes stayed there and didn't go anywhere else. It's a scientific pickle. Now, new research shows aging black holes cough the information back out, which has made the picture more complicated, not less. This, Sutter explains, is why the time was right for string theory to offer new suggestions.
Spaghettification.
Spaghettification. String theory has always positioned itself as a theory of everything, meaning a unified mathematical and scientific system that seamlessly flows through all matter at all scales. This sounds like a huge job, because it is. Particle physics and quantum physics spend as much time trying to reconcile their differences as they do pushing the boat out with new math and experiments. Fuzzballs might separate from black holes, or they might be a subset that's contained within the field of black holes. Scientists aren't sure. There are different mathematical models that haven't coalesced into one emerging majority yet, but they come from the same idea, at least.
At least.
At least they come from the same idea. There's that. In string theory, black holes are neither black nor holes, Sutter explains. Instead, they're like neutron stars, which are, well, almost black holes. He continues, quote, inside a neutron star, matter is compressed into its highest density state possible, which would be that small particle that just compresses and compresses to an infinitely small, that one, I think. In a neutron star, atomic camaraderie breaks down and dissolves, leaving behind just neutrons crammed together as tightly as possible. With fuzzballs, the fundamental strings stuck together.
Wait, hold on one second. Atomic camaraderie.
Yes.
I haven't heard that one yet.
No, that's good.
So all the atoms in there are good friends and buddies, and they want to be close? Is that what they're trying to say? Okay. All right. Sorry about that.
So with fuzzballs, the fundamental strings stop working altogether and simply crowd together, becoming a large, well, ball of strings. A fuzzball. End quote.
Oh, my goodness.
Okay, I think I'm almost done here. Good. Researcher Daniel Mayerson has a new sweeping survey updated with peer-reviewed journal link and the existing body of knowledge about fuzzballs. Mayerson also suggests next steps for instruments and finer measurements that could reveal evidence for the fuzzball paradigm, drawing out a roadmap for the near future. The area of fuzzball and microstate geometry phenomenology is a budding new field where many exciting insights and observations lie, ready for the picking, he concludes. There we go. Because black holes may not be black holes at all. They may actually be fuzzballs.
I like divas. There are space dust bunnies. They're like the corners where all the dog hair gathers.
Ghost turds. That's what I call them. Ghosts leaving little piles of turds all around the house. Yeah.
I know, Liz. Who writes this stuff? It's probably a machine, a computer. You put in certain words and then it just makes up the story about it. Kind of like ad-lib.
I think you're right. I think there's a lot of what we collect that is AI written.
Mm-hmm.
Just a template.
Well, Walt's been pointed out since the show started how writing has gotten so bad. Just grammar of all this stuff. That either it's a computer that's not being checked by a human, or the editors of these things are not doing their job at all. A lot of times the sentences don't even, coagulate together. They don't make sense half the time. Just a word framing that they use. I mean, if you got computers writing for you, shouldn't at least the grammar be correct? And doesn't Microsoft give a free program like WordCheck or whatever?
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Just lazy. All that money. Yeah, it's getting, I don't know. Maybe they're trying to
measure time.
There he is.
There he is.
No hum in the background.
I fixed it. It was a physical issue, it wasn't electronic. It was physical, actually. So
something touching the plug-in.
Apparently, the ground, the plug.
That's what it sounded like was a cord held.
Guitar. I knew that's what it was. I just couldn't figure out where it was happening and why. So I knew it was a cable somewhere that was open and being grounded out. So, but I finally found it. Sorry, everybody. Hi, 20 minutes in. 420.
420. Smoke 'em if you got 'em.
Smoke weed every day.
So what did I miss? Y'all start over. Rewind. Okay.
black holes are actually dust bunnies.
I heard that there was space dust bunnies and something about atomic coagulation. Wait, what was it?
Atomic camaraderie.
Camaraderie.
Atomic camaraderie. That's a good one. Yeah, that's fusion for you. We're just going to change all these scientific terms. We'll call it atomic camaraderie now.
Well, they got to make it easy to understand for all us dummies that aren't scientists, you know. What better way to describe it than atomic camaraderie?
I saw something else too, Walt. We were talking about, the one thing, the thing that hit the asteroid. Hayabusa 2 or whatever.
Mm.
They have confirmed that it does have dust from the meteor in it.
That's a relief. How do they compare it? How do they know that's
12 days later.
Well, how do they know that's what it's from? Surely they've got a sample of the actual meteor so they can compare the two and say, yep, that's what that is. Or do they just find something in there and say, oh, well, that's the meteor. Ta-da! It's not empty, so it must be the meteor.
And China's pulling the old, we lost contact with their rover on the moon. You know,
it's over.
Yeah, on the dark side of the moon. Yeah, they can't talk to it anymore. It quit sending signals. It was damaged in the blast off.
Yep.
But it's still there. And they didn't say it was totally destroyed. They just said, we're not getting radio signals from it. Kind of like the United States did with Voyager. Maybe in 30 years, they're going to be like, hey, we're getting signals again from this thing all of a sudden.
It's a
someone
space
came by
miracle.
and cleaned off the solar panels, and we're all good now. Yeah, I mean, who writes this stuff? This stuff is worse than a B movie.
Right, not even Travis would cover this on movie night. So bad.
Yeah, Travis is my first hat. I made it Papa Smurf style. It's got the big tall top on it that folds over and
Like a long
jets way out.
slouchy, yeah.
Yeah.
How'd it turn out? Looking good?
Yeah, it looked pretty good. I tried a little different thing on the bottom. Instead of coming snug in, I kind of belled it out like a bell bottom. And if he doesn't like it, I told him, I'll make him another one more snug. I was just trying something out. This is a special hat. It really was. I put, so much intent. Because Travis he's a great guy. And there's things that I think he deserves. That everybody really deserves. And that's why I like making hats for people I know. Because then, I put about maybe 20 hours into this hat. Taking it apart and putting it back in and really working on the edge a lot and making it nice and but I put a lot of intent into what I want the hat to achieve for Travis. So if he wears it, I'm hoping that he finds some happiness while he's wearing it. And it sounds crazy, folks. I know. It sounds insane. But we have the power to do this stuff. We do.
Well, it's a very specific kind of happiness. And I think that hat will ideally be the talisman that you hope it is. I think it's going to do exactly what the intent you put into it does. I'm dumping my intent in there with it. F it. We'll just fill it up. Because I think wearing it will bring about exactly the intent you put into it. All he's got to do is wear it around. Make sure it stays on his head.
And I've been having trouble finding wool at the local stores. Everybody said, because of all the nonsense going on right now. Shipments and this and that and blah, blah, blah. It could take weeks and blah, blah, blah before we get our next. It's like, okay, whatever. So I went and got I had to choose between polyester and acrylic. Now, both are derivatives of plastic, but polyester, unlike wool, holds a negative charge in it, where wool holds a positive charge. Well, that's the neat thing about acrylic. Even though it is a polymer, it also, because of certain processes in the manufacturing steps, holds a positive charge. And that's kind of where I focus my energy at, is what the material is going to attract.
And I'll be damned if that's not break music. Yeah, that's quick.
It is.
All right, then we shall be back after these quick messages. Josh, Walt, Zach, hanging out with you this morning on the Ironworks. We shall BRB.
From the dawn of man, we have turned to nature to help attain balance within ourselves.
No fear.
Start your day off bright and shiny. Get up off your little hiney and begin your happy day. Wake up! Wake up! It's a brand new day.
And welcome back. Second segment of the Ironworks kicking off right now. Feels like we're just starting to get the cobwebs knocked loose and dust brushed off. It's like I was here, but my brain was still in bed. But welcome back. I'm pretty sure Walt has joined us. There he is.
There he is.
I'm here by the hardest. Humphrey.
So I think we may actually be able to dig through some of this space lettuce. Because it's been stacking up. It's been piling up for weeks now. We've just been too damn busy. Better things to do. Much better things to do. Hell, most anything's better to do than read some of this ridiculous fuzzball string theory BS. But Walter got a new news aggregator, so he's been putting some quality stories in there. Not just space lettuce, but some other really cool things. I think last time we reported on even the big monolith, I think we reported that it had disappeared. Then we had another one pop up, and then another one pop up, and then it became a whole thing, and then it was a mystery solved, and yeah, there's that whole thing unfolded, and we never even touched it again.
Did you buy you one yet?
I have not. I need to get one to put in my front yard.
Well, from all evidence that has been gathered, it would seem that there's an art collective that has been putting these installations around with the intention of selling them after all of the hype and infamy that was heaped upon them. I'm trying to find the actual story. Where is it?
So are these the guys?
Gone way too far back, apparently, because I'm still not seeing it.
Yeah, it's hard to find. Again, that's a big pile of lettuce we got there. It's hard to find anything. Well, didn't the first one say it was spotted from like back in 2012 or something? I thought it had been there a good long while. Then somebody finally spotted it on Google Earth, and
if they were playing the long game, that's the long con.
That's the long con.
Oh, where is it? There's the story. Mystery solved, finally. Let's see what the name of this collective is. Well, this apparently isn't that story because it's making me have a paywall suddenly. What's the deal? You know, I think that happens on my computer sometimes when it doesn't happen on my phone. So I don't remember this being a pay site.
Yeah, I don't know, for some reason.
A group called The Most Famous Artist. That's the name of the group, The Most Famous Artist, posted an image of the monolith on their IG page, advertising it for $45,000. And in the comments, someone asked, "Was it you?" To which the Most Famous Artist replied, "If you mean by you, if by you mean us, then yes."
Bless you, sir. Bemore you, sir. Be more you. Bemore you, sir. Not bless you.
No,
I want you to be more.
I need Bemore right now. Bemore for sure. But anyway, yeah, apparently that's who's claiming they did it. Now, you know, it's very possible this is strictly the pull tab that starts our battery correctly on Earth. So all these are little pull tabs, and that's, you know, what they are. And these people are just taking the credit because they're the ones who went out and stole that first one out of the desert. Now they're selling it for $45,000. Theory, true, but just as valid as anything else at this point, because if they don't know, this doesn't mean anything. This story definitely isn't a conclusive story, but somebody's trying to make money off of it. That's a shock.
I support your theory. I'll back it. I'm just done with this Earth demo mode bullshit. I'm ready to actually get into serious. Let's pull the tabs, get out of demo mode, and see what this puppy can do.
See what this thing can do. That's what I'm saying.
Let's see what else we got going on.
There is a 7-foot penis missing in Germany.
I bet.
I don't know. I just saw that was a clickable link at the end of our story here, so I thought I would share that with everyone. It apparently is not clickable, though. Oh, there it goes. It's finally opening up. I'm sorry. I shouldn't have read that aloud. Now we're there.
Well, I mean,
wow. So that is a 7-foot penis. Yeah. So apparently there's a monolith.
Well, cheers to the guy who ever had it. But if he can't keep track of it, he doesn't deserve it anyway. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah. So apparently that's a thing. That's the thing. 4 years ago, someone inexplicably planted a 6-foot wooden penis on Grunten Mountain in Bavaria, Germany. It became a landmark for tourists and hikers and perverts. It even appears on Google Maps. At least it did until earlier this week when it vanished. According to the German paper Allgäuer Zeitung, I'm really murdering those words, I'm sure, police are attempting to locate the lost erection. So there you go. There you go. Really, what more can you say? But the picture will be included in our show description without a doubt.
I think somebody should just give it a big blue pill. Because if you lose an erection, I hear those are supposed to help bring it back.
Well, it's been there for four years, is what I think I remember seeing in the story earlier. So, I mean, aren't you supposed to call your doctor if it's lasting 4 years or longer?
I think that's right. Only if you catch wood that size.
Did you guys hear about we just had an eclipse down in South America, right?
I did hear that. I didn't get to see it, but I heard that.
There's some space agency down there that had to postpone one of their rocket launches because of an eclipse. Now, I'm sorry. We know when this isn't like the weather. This isn't like, oh, we might have bad weather today, so we're going to have to postpone it a couple days. How do you not know an eclipse is coming? How do you plan a day to set off your rocket? I mean, wouldn't you check, hey, is there any, astronomical phenomena going to be taking place that might dampen this somehow? I mean, we know when eclipses are coming. We know when the next 100 eclipses are coming. It's a mathematical cycle.
Well, I don't know if we do technically, but your boy, God, his name was right there, and now it's gone. Spinac, is that right?
Something like that.
Something like that.
The, not one of the, but the eclipse predictor dude. There's only one. Go look it up. I'll find his name.
And he does not use a globe model to do his predictions.
Interestingly enough.
All right, so... sorry, go ahead, Zach.
I was just going to say, how do you... I mean, you're a space agency. How do you set a rocket date? I mean, they're supposed to be planning these things. And I was, we forgot there's an eclipse on this day, so we're going to have to put it back a couple days. We can't shoot it off during the eclipse. I don't know. Maybe I'm crazy. But that just sounds really poor planning, for people who are getting all that money and all that stuff. That's like knowing it's going to rain and setting a date for a picnic on that day years in advance.
Then waiting to the day after cancel. Oh, there's rain today. Sorry, we can't do the picnic. If only I'd have known.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. Just sounds like I'd be pissed. If that was my government, I'd be, what the fuck are you doing? Did you pay everybody to be out there that day to do this? You know, they don't. The private sector and the government are like the exact opposite. The private sector, you know, family-run businesses and whatnot, they don't get the government funding. They have a bottom line. They have to stay in the black. They get in the red, their business is gone. Government funding, you have to spend this much money this year to get more next year. If you don't spend it, we're not going to give you as much. It's a horrible system for getting results. I don't know. There's so many things that need to change, and so many things are crazy that I know this isn't on the top of the list. But NASA definitely needs to just be forget about defunding the police. How about funding the police to get them the correct training that they need, since most of them don't know the laws. And then once we figure all that stuff out, then we can pretend like we're doing stuff in space. If you really want to. I don't know. Oh, my rant's over. I'm sorry.
Nope, I like it. Think of all the cool things we can do if we just defund NASA. That's the t-shirt we need. Defund NASA.
No doubt. With all this defund the police stuff, I mean, defund NASA, it's a good time to bring that slogan up.
We'll do it. We shall do it. Just big.
I don't know if you can put the NASA logo on a shirt, though. Jaron.
Didn't we pay for that?
Yeah, you would think.
I was wondering when I was going to get my cut of all those t-shirt sales and underwear and socks and hats and jackets and baby bibs. And, you know, since we paid for all of that and now they're making money off the logo, shouldn't we get a cut of that? I mean...
Yeah, we can't use the logo, even though it's our logo.
Yeah, but we can make a close facsimile. We can find and make vectors that won't necessarily be the NASA logo, but it would definitely imply a NASA logo.
Yeah, we'll just change the letters around a little bit.
Because, you know, I don't know that they have a lock on that font, that worm font, that old school worm font, because I'm pretty sure I've got it loaded up in my computer for what it's worth. So maybe not the new one, but I bet you I could get away with the old NASA font.
I think there's 26 Jaronism shirts out there that did get sold and sent out. NASA going nowhere since 1958. So there are a few of them out there. But those things are rare now, you know, it's like a collector's item.
Right.
You know, there's some idiots out there that would pay crazy amounts of money for something because there's only 25 of them.
I think Dave Marsh collects Flat Earth t-shirts. He's got a big pile of them.
Yeah, I'm starting to get my collection. I try to get one at every convention at least.
Aside from show shirts, I don't think I have a single Flat Earth related t-shirt.
I've got a couple that were given to me early on. Michelle and other people on Christmases and stuff. But I've kind of not, it's been a minute since I've gotten a new one. So who knows? Maybe I'll get one for Christmas this year. Although I doubt it. It's all going to probably be computer-related accessories, if I know everyone else. Shout out to Clayton Jacobs, who I have yet to respond back to, for sending me the amazing copy of the Audible book that he sent. Thank you. I have yet to have a chance to read it because, unfortunately, these days when you buy a $1,300 phone, they expect you to dish out another couple of $100 for some wireless earbuds so that you can have extra electronic frequencies going into your brain at all times. I'm not going to buy any wireless headbuds. So I expected at least a $20, headset in my $1,300 phone. However, that's not how it works these days. In fact, I just read they're going to stop sending chargers out with the phones that you're paying $1,300 for. So welcome to America and the rest of the world. So yeah, I've yet to experience my phone in any kind of way except out here doing this and listening to it out here. I've yet to put it into my ears. And so I've yet to listen to the book, Clayton, but thank you for sending me that link, sir. It is saved on the device, ready to listen. Just I'm not going to put it on my head. I mean, not going to listen to it till I can put it in earphones. It's ridiculous that it's 4 weeks in and I still don't have a headset. Samsung ran over, oh my goodness, $100.
Well, Robert Page in chat asks a very good question. How many pictures of Earth have they gotten on all their trips into space? Well, according to NASA, yeah, there's been one. 1972, I think it was, on their way to the moon. They captured the blue marble. It shows Antarctica. Imagine that. Pretty much just Africa. A little bit of Europe. But yeah, that's the only supposed photo. Now, they have lots of pictures and images.
Now, don't forget, we have video of them faking that picture, according to Mr. Barksdale. But I digress.
He also said that picture was taken from space, though. Just a lot closer than they claimed.
Quote unquote low Earth orbit, which I think, is doable in a flat, floaty, liquid scheme. I see LC King saying he did some flat smacking when he was selling produce at the market on the weekend. That is an actual side note that I didn't get to on the headphone issue. I didn't call. Friday after our show, I clicked into the online 24-hour support to find out why 3.5, almost 4 weeks in, I did not have a headset, which there was a link when I looked into all this the day I got the phone to find out why I didn't have a headset with my $1,300 phone. I'm sorry, I'm just harping on that because it's ridiculous. Anyway, they said, yeah, click this and we'll send you one. And I clicked it and said, congratulations, your headset's on its way. And that was, like I said, 4 weeks ago now, almost. And so I called and clicked and went through. And then now I'm talking to a person on a little chat on my phone, and we're talking. And then stuff comes up about the craziness of our times. And and then we get into a little discussion of it. And before it was all said and done, I had flat smacked, vax smacked, and given them links to our shows through the little texting device there, the phone, that's what it's called, through the phone. So I got the flat smack and drop show links. So there was one perk of having no headset included with my $1,300 phone. Rant over for now, till that nerve tweaks again.
So there was a story I saw that piqued my interest that I thought I would have heard more about. And maybe I've seen a couple other headlines about it, but really not a whole lot of discussion. Then looking at the article, it made me think about some of the stuff we were talking about earlier this morning. So the article is on a website called entrepreneur.com. And when I clicked on it and got ready to look on it, there's a little subheading up there. It says this article was translated from our Spanish edition using AI technologies. Errors may exist due to this process. So then it just got me thinking about how many of these crappy written articles are just translated from some stupid ass foreign site, and they use the AI to translate it into English and put it up on their site as a new article.
Telling me that our new robotic overlords don't even have built-in spell checker?
Not only do they not have built-in spell checker, they don't have built-in grammar checker, nor do they seem to send it through any type of checking for what's the word when you're stealing somebody else's work? Plagiarism. Thank you. Usually you can run a plagiarism check and a grammar check and a spell check, but apparently they don't do any of that. But the headline is, water begins trading on Wall Street in the futures market for fear of shortages.
Water?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, we're talking about the same thing, right? The most abundant element on the planet. Notice how I said planet there?
That's the one.
We're going to...
Well, they've beaten the oil shortage horse to death, so now it's time to climb up on the water shortage mule.
So this was
They do know we can take dirty water and turn it into clean water and drink it, right? Even salt water. I mean,
they do know we can combine hydrogen and oxygen and make... Oh, wait, never mind.
Well, I think this is going to really say a lot just based on where this is kind of going down. Starting this week, this was on the 7th of December. Starting this week, water will be traded on the Wall Street commodities future market due to its scarcity. The price of the vital liquid will fluctuate, just like oil, gold, or wheat. The CME Group reported. The price of water in California has doubled in the last year, according to the NASDAQ Velez California Water Index. Experts assure that its arrival on the commodity market will allow better management of the future risk associated with water. It says this asset, but that's the asset is water. Experts assure that its arrival in the commodity market will allow better management of the future risk associated with water. The U.S. company CME Group will launch contracts related to California spot water, a market of $1.1 billion with an NQH20 ticker. The price of water futures in California was trading today at about $486.53 per acre foot, which is equivalent to about 1,233 cubic meters. The index based on California's major river basins where the scarcity has increased. This value can be used as a reference for the rest of the world in the water markets. Farmers, funds, or municipalities may protect themselves or speculate against changes in the price of water. According to the CME Group, the new contracts will allow better management of the risk associated with water scarcity and make a better correlation between supply and demand in the markets. These future contracts do not require physical delivery of water and are purely financial. These futures contracts do not require physical delivery of water and are purely financial. They are based on the weekly price averaged across California's top 5 watersheds through 2022. These contracts are the first of their kind in the United States and were announced in September when the west coast of the country was devastated by heat and wildfires. According to Bloom, interesting.
You beat me to it, sir. I couldn't get to mute quick enough. You definitely got that right. Very, very interesting.
So because of all those crazy, weird, strange wildfires they'd experienced, now they've got this huge water futures market to play with.
I like how they call them strange wildfires, like they just spontaneously started. Didn't some guy get caught starting 6 of them, and then they let him go the same day and caught him out there starting more of them?
Yeah, that's...
So this is a reason why they can now... Because, I mean, wasn't that a law? Like, you don't own water?
I thought.
You can't own water rights. You can, live next to water, but you can't own the water.
And, well, like they said before, These futures contracts do not require physical delivery of water and are purely financial. You see.
So it's like Vegas. It's just another slot on the Vegas board for...
Yep.
Wow.
Only it's the...
Wait till they do this with oxygen.
Federal Reserve, yeah. Right? Like President Scroob, we'll all have big cans of air in our desk so we can take a hit when we need it.
Wow, that's breaky.
That do be breaky. That's the first half of the Ironworks on Truth Frequency Radio. Can you believe we've still got another hour of this fun to go? So be sure you guys stick around, and we shall be right back right after these brief messages.
Truth Frequency Radio is your #1 source for news and information without the hate, hype, and fear. We're proud to feature cutting-edge programs like The Christopher Everard Show, The Covert Report with Susan Lindauer, Enemy Within Radio with Tom Barnes, Freaky Friday with The Woo Crew, The Gematria Effect with Zachary Hubbard, America's Evil Genius with Travis Cook, Phoenix Rising Radio with Phoenix, Quantum Connections with Lucky, and dozens more. Did you know you can listen from any telephone by dialing 641-793-7...
iron you need to get what you want.
Good morning. I'm here.
Wake up! Wake up! Wake up! Wake up!
What is dark matter?
Okay, we don't know.
That's great. That's why it's called dark.
It's exactly.
Everyone knows all reputable information comes from random people on the internet. Tell me things, internet. The earth is flat. It's like school in your hand.
Okay, dark matter is something we do not know what it is. We believe that dark matter is there, but we have never detected it. Well, what I'm afraid of course, is that there is no dark matter out there.
There was one?
There is no dark matter out there. We need to think really hard,
I have come here to chew bubblegum and kick ass. And I'm all out of bubblegum.
All out of MF and bubble gum. Welcome back to hour number 2 of the Ironworks this morning. I think we might get a little bit of snow today, as a matter of fact. Not much.
Really?
I don't think it's going to accumulate, but I think we are supposed to get a little bit.
If it starts here, I'm just closing my eyes. I'll open them when it's all gone. I'm not seeing snow this year. That's one of my goals. I've never spent a year without it. I think I deserve one.
You definitely do.
Yeah, I mean, it's cold. It's 30-something degrees right now. 33 degrees. Uh-oh. Illuminati confirmed. Yeah, and it seems like they're doing this all over the place, selling the rights, even of, water. In Australia. Lucas and Diva, same thing. They love to sell their water over to China. Their fresh water. China had their industrial revolution over the last, they're still in it right now. So a lot of their groundwater, their fresh groundwater, I'm sure is toxic, just like a lot of rivers around here have been for decades, It's just, it's crazy.
It is crazy. And I see we've been joined.
Have we?
We have, by Jonathan from Jersey.
Hey, Jonathan. What's up, man?
Good morning. Good morning, gentlemen.
How are you doing, Jonathan?
Good morning, sir.
That's a loaded question.
Is it? But it's always a loaded question, really, isn't it?
You have no idea. How was your weekend? Or what day is it? I don't even know where I am.
See? Welcome to my world. It's Friday, my dudes.
Is it Friday?
No, it's Tuesday, I think.
No.
Pretty sure it's Tuesday.
Tuesday, my dude.
Well, I did a ceremony over the weekend. I did rapé and mushroom ceremony. Oh my God. Dude, it was awesome.
What did the ceremony involve?
People that were leading it were from Peru and Colombia, and it was just magical. Like, it's so when you do earth, plant-based medicines, it's such the experience is so subtle that you don't realize when the journey begins. Like when it kicks in, and then you're underway. It's not like doing. I guess I've never done regular.
Ayahuasca.
Well, no. When people do regular drugs, like more like anything synthetic or anything like that, because in America, the funny thing is, one's very masculine, the stuff that's synthetic and hardcore, like anything from ecstasy to K to, well, I don't know what I'm talking about, but all those things are very quick response, right? And so it has a different effect. In terms of the psychedelic edge of it. When you do the plant-based medicine, it's like there's an actual energy, of course, it's living. It's of the earth. And it really reconnects you to yourself through the earth. And the experience is just you feel alive because there's something alive working with you.
Yeah, it feels natural.
It feels natural. And what's really crazy is, because it is a personal journey or a personal experience, it transcends simple words. But what was amazing is that a lot of people that were having the experience were having like similar experiences, like the stars when we rolled on our backs and looking up, the stars were literally dancing above us. And like at one point, this cloud that was above this person's backyard. I've never seen a cloud like this. I've always been one to look up the sky since I was a kid. And you know how there's people that never look up? Like there could be UFOs and they never looked up. They just walk in, and I mean before cell phones, there's people that always look straight ahead, never look at the sky.
Oh yeah, well, so many of them.
Right. So this cloud was above the house, and it started. The only way I could describe it is when a cloud breaks apart, it usually breaks apart and dissipates. Right. It just goes poof. It just dissipates. This one particular cloud started breaking up into like little holes, almost like a cobweb or a spider web. So that in between each part, it was like porous, almost like coral, the way it has that porousness, or a sponge, a natural sponge. And everybody saw it, like the people that were looking up, like, wow, that's the weirdest looking cloud we've ever seen. But then the stars almost looked like they were dancing. And of course, the convergence is coming up on the 21st. So you had, Venus and Saturn and Jupiter. It was just a really wild thing. But then at the same time, when everybody was looking up, a white dove went flying across the yard, like really bright. And one guy yells out, he goes, "Is that a white bat, like an albino bat?" It was just really trippy. But the stars themselves were like sparking and dancing. And it's like, okay, like, is this the medicine that's doing this? But because it was shared, it's like, okay, I'm not the only one seeing this kind of thing. The other thing is, my entire life, and I had made a statement earlier to one of the women that was leading it. I said, I'm a lone wolf. So if I'm here with my cameras, because she told me, she said, take pictures. I said, if I seem like I'm hiding behind my cameras, it's just I'm a lone wolf. She goes, well, not tonight. And then sure enough, after I finally found like I was like part of a group. I finally felt cohesive and not on the outside. I felt like I was actually sharing in the experience with other people. And it was really nice to have that feeling. I found my tribe, so to speak. But the other part of it is this stuff that's called rapé. I think it's based like almost like a tobacco kind of thing, and it goes up your nose and it goes into your sinuses and it like starts to open up centers. This is the second time I've tried it, and I got to tell you something. It made me really clear with my psychic abilities to a degree like I never experienced in my life.
What's the plant? It's not tobacco, but it's something else.
Yeah, hold on. It's spelled like the word rape, but it's the emphasis and the hyphen is on the E. Rapé. And let me see, rapé.
Yeah, I know people used to do that with tobacco even. They would call it snuff. I think you can even still find it in some places.
Yeah, what is shamanic snuff? So it's spelled R-A-P E with the apostrophe over it. What is that called, that letter E with the apostrophe?
Umlaut.
Oh, not the umlaut. The umlaut are the two dots, I think.
Oh, yeah, that's German. Never mind, that's German. I'm in my Spanish.
But in any case, no, the rapé. So they say, it's like, how do you spell it? They said pronounce hape or rapé, like R-A-P-A-Y. And they said rapé is a fine ground up shamanic stuff. It contains Nicotiana rustica, a type of tobacco known as mapacho. And it's different from the tobacco used in cigarettes, which is Nicotiana tabacum. But in any case, these people work with other stuff too. Like sometimes they'll do another ceremony where they use like two other types of tobacco, or one goes almost like under your mouth, like what's that stuff, like dip or chew? It goes in inside, so it works like a sublingual with the your saliva. Mm-hmm. And there's another one then, of course, with the tobacco leaves itself. But what's interesting is, remember, when you change the physiology of the body, you change the chemistry. It's not to have a trip. I mean, that's the American way, right? We want to take a pill and feel better, right? We have a sore back, then immediately go for the Tylenol, right, for the anti-inflammatory properties. But like, of course, natural medicines, right? You would take turmeric, or you would take arnica, and other things. And the difference with those things is you want to feel your body throughout the whole experience, whether you're in pain or on a journey, because you want to be aware, right? You want to be aware of all the sensations. So in this case, when you shift into this shamanic space, the main thing is that you're holding a conscious thought or like a reverence the entire time. And that's when you start to actually communicate with it and have like a true inward experience where it's very reflective, and you start to see aspects of self you didn't realize that were hidden away. Am I making sense, or am I talking too much?
Yeah, absolutely.
You're making a lot of
sense.
sense.
Yourself with clear eyes.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. Now, here's the weird part. Okay, so, I've been losing weight. I've been working out. I've been getting myself healthy. 3 separate people came up to me because at different points, we had a chance to talk, to just speak, because we were in the circle. So now it's a sharing experience. 3 separate women come up to me and say, I have to tell you something. And one was an older Indian woman, like native, and she had the face paint, she had her stuff, and she's from South America. She says, I was looking at you and you're speaking, and then you look like a little boy. I said, what do you mean? She goes, you look like you were 16 and you were thin and your face looks so young. And then 2 other people had the same experience. And I'm like, what the hell happened? And I think it's because in the past week, through 5 different people, the topic of inner child work kept coming up and coming up and coming up. And as Josh, I think, the issues I had with my father, the stuff that had gone on over the past few years. Right. So I was going to see my father yesterday, which I did. It was a beautiful thing. Like, we had a really good dinner. I, met his new family and her kids and all that, which were grown. And I knew I was getting ready to meet him, and I wanted to see him with clear eyes. Right. Because I've been praying for peace for a long time. Well, the whole idea leading up to that yesterday, everybody kept saying, oh, you got to do inner child work. You got to heal the inner child. But one person was like trying to do it through a rage workshop. Another person was, everybody had their technique. And because I kept waiting and saying, no, thank you, no, thank you, no, thank you, I just knew that the right technique would appear. And it happened to be this invite to this circle that really did it, because it validated that, I didn't do anything but wait and just let the universe present what the issue was with my father and I, right? Mm-hmm. And sure enough, it came up through this ceremony. It was very natural. It was very organic. Does that make
awesome? That's awesome.
And how's he doing?
You know how like rage workshops or even certain types of therapy, you have a person leading and trying to elicit the response. So somebody who's doing like a rage workshop, they might do Wu Chi breathing, right? Like a breathing technique, or screaming. And it's like, okay, well, that's good. But like, why would I hold my father in that space of rage that when I've already forgiven him? You see what I'm saying? That doesn't, I don't identify. The old Jonathan would have done that.
Not meshing. Yeah.
Huh?
It doesn't mesh.
It doesn't mesh. And
how
then
you feel right now. Yeah.
Yeah, and
it's
then
a
another
forced
person's
evolution.
Yeah, another person was like, "Oh, you got to do this technique where you ask these questions, and then and it's almost like a pendulum technique, and it was like NLP incorporated and tapping and all this." I was like, "No, that doesn't make sense either, because again, you're asking questions to elicit a response. Like, I want to know exactly when I see him what the feeling should be, what emotion should be present. I don't want it to be contrived." And like I said, when you work with the earth, I got to tell you guys, and I remember, I think this is like what Frank Castle and of course Chris Gio and Cherie were talking about when they were doing ayahuasca. You can't trick the Mother Earth, and you can't trick yourself when you're connected to it. And the one beautiful thing that you walk away from is you realize that we've all forgotten what it means to be connected to the earth. It sounds a little flaky, or it sounds a little woo-woo to some people, but considering that we live in such a synthetic world now, not just with our technologies, but even to take off our shoes and to walk barefoot on the earth. We're always wearing sneakers. We're always on artificial surfaces. We're not connected at all to this planet, and our planet is our home, right? Again, this plane of existence is our home. The flat Earth is our home, but we don't even know what that is, right? When we think of the flat Earth, don't we keep describing it in terms of we describe it in terms of a third-person object? Right, we keep referring to it as, and then we start to define it, right? Oh, it has a firmament. Oh, it has this. Oh, there's a border edge. But we don't see ourselves as connected to it. We see ourselves almost kind of like within it, on top of it, but not a part of it. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we put the animals in this. We put the plants in this.
Right.
We put everything in
like
this.
An aquarium.
We aren't a part of it. Yeah, exactly.
Right, and so when we came through with the Mother Earth, it was really a beautiful message. She was speaking to me, the way she did to everybody. And she says, you're a strong man. You got to remember that. You got to tap back into your masculinity and know your place in this world and know that you're strong. You're a very strong man. And I said, oh, thank you. And she says, but I am stronger. And she says, I give birth to all you children, right? You come of the earth. So, yeah, we're all of this world, of the material world. And she says, and your pain is my pain throughout your existence, and know that I take you back home into me, like when you were buried, so it was a really beautiful concept. The other concepts that came up were like the fact that we actually live in darkness, right? We live in a container of darkness. Again, that theme came up, just like the womb. For 9 months you're in darkness before you're birthed into this world. And the fact that it's not, when people talk about being light workers and stuff, It's like, well, that's nice, except it's the light that creates shadows. It's light that casts the illusion. So don't be so quick to talk about working in the light. You know, more, you should not be afraid of the dark, because the darkness is where your origins are from, right? And then the idea of vibration and sound. I have to tell you something. Once you're in the journey, the sound effects of the whole place was like this, not a cacophony, but a beautiful orchestra, but everything's amplified in different ways, so that when you hear like a cricket chirping, it sounds like a beautiful, like the most incredible stereo system, high fidelity you've ever heard. Everything is enhanced at that perspective. And whereas we're normally disconnected from the world and we don't realize the environment or the surroundings, how beautiful it is, here you're so withdrawn from that and put back into yourself that you start to hear like the most beautiful little sounds, rustling of the leaves from the wind. You know what I'm saying? It's something like out of a surreal like a movie. It's like it's been amplified and your focus is on that.
Well, yeah, and it's not as though louder. It's your senses are just picking it up that much. You're connected now.
You're totally connected and not this. Yeah, you're totally aware and back in your body, so to speak.
To me, it was always kind of, well, not necessarily that particular psychedelic, but many times, many different psychedelics always felt like removing the filters that we have to use to get through the daily grind, the filter of all this input that would just overwhelm the system if we weren't filtering it constantly to keep it from overwhelming the system. When you take these alleys, they help break those filters apart so that you're seeing, like you said, the direct connection that we forget.
Yeah, it was, and at one point there was like I've had encounters with entities my whole life, including those kind of spirits that would look to be like an oppressive or even possession type situation. Okay, I've been possessed. I could tell you stories that'll, oh my God, it's scary stuff, even from my perspective. At one point, this thing was behind me, and when I say thing, it felt androgynous. Like at one point it felt female, at another point it felt male, but at no point did it ever feel like it was trying to dominate my own experience or spirit. But it comes up behind me, and all I could think in my mind was, remember Peter Pan when its shadow was attached to it? Right, I think Peter Pan's shadow. Okay. So this thing was like on my back. If you took like a big black piece of sticker, like if you were to peel away a sticker, when you peel the backing off a sticker and then you stick it, this thing was like right up on my back. The exact silhouette of my shadow is what I felt like. And it was connected back to the earth. And at one point it was like just making me sway, like almost like teaching me to dance. So imagine like you come up behind a child and you hold on to its arm and you hold on to its hand. It's like, look, I'm going to show you how to dance, like Dirty Dancing, like when he's teaching her how to move, and he's showing her how to learn her body mechanics. This thing was connecting with me this way, because I always say to people, I don't dance. It's just not my thing. I don't have the dance bug. And this thing had me like remember my body. It's like, look, you have to be flexible. You have to move. You can't do this rigid Jonathan anymore. You can't put up this defense anymore. And I swear to God, dudes, it was like, I was like, holy crap. I was like, if this is what people feel when they get the dance bug, I want to feel this again. Like I want to experience this more. You know what I'm saying? Now I get it. Now I know
get it after a few beers. If I have a few beers in me,
there you go. Maybe
my whole body just starts moving. I can't stop it.
Do you know what I'm talking about? Yeah, that's exactly what I'm talking about. And even when I've drank, I've never had that experience where I wanted, how I want to dance. Like some people get, I guess they let down their, not defenses. What's the word? It releases your inhibitions.
Yeah.
Yeah, but this wasn't an inhibition.
But I think it's more of that connection to the frequency that you start feeling, and you just are like again, usually that's filtered out to keep you from focusing on it. But when you let it in, you just can't help but be joyous and want to dance and want to sing.
But you know what the funny thing is? You know what the funny thing is? I've always played music, like piano and stuff like that. And I have really excellent rhythm. Like I can improvise in jazz, and all that stuff. Don't even need sheet music. This was totally different. Instead of me doing it again from a methodical method or a mechanical method from the outside to play that way.
Yeah, you didn't have to think about it.
I didn't have to think about it, and I was actually a part of it for a change. I was actually in the flow. And you were
reacting to it. It was, it wasn't
you know how white
to add to it. It was affecting.
Wait, you know how white people do the stiff dance, whereas black people seem to have natural rhythm and they just go into it. And it's like, wow, man, it's like you barely move and you look like you're doing a full choreographed routine. I move and I look like Elaine from Seinfeld. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, I do like this, the 2-step shuffle. The way, you remember how white people used to dance in the 80s and it was goofy? Like all
See,
those,
I have a bunch of Hispanic in me, so I just have that salsa in my blood.
So you know what I'm talking about, where you could probably do the
I've watched white people try to dance that don't have that rhythm.
I'm that white guy, right? I'm kind of like, I can't even do the 80s dances that are.
I almost got beat up for making fun of a girl dancing. I wasn't making fun of her. I was just like, oh my goodness, poor thing. She shouldn't be doing this in public.
But when I say this, I don't mean to blow up. I'm not trying to blow up stereotypes. I'm not trying to be funny. But when you look around at certain world cultures too, and you look at different styles of the way people move, right? When you look at Indian people doing Bollywood moves, you know that flow, like the way the women move and all that. It's so different, right? But it's a very specific style, right? Or the way like you don't think of Chinese people. You don't think of Chinese people as being able to move the way black people do, right? There's a whole different body mechanics, a different sets, right? But then you get, of course, a youth crowd that does a specific genre, like maybe they're doing like a dance off, like a street dance off, and it's that's different too because you're practicing at it. But I'm talking about natural rhythm. Some people literally move, and it's a whole flow. And I got to tell you, there's a couple women like down here who are in touch with themselves, have done this kind of work or do yoga. And there's this one woman I'm thinking about in particular. To watch her walk into a room, you'd swear to God that a fairy or a butterfly just moved in, because her body articulation is such. It's like, oh my God, I've never seen such flow. It's almost like there's no straight lines on this woman to begin with. She's just like one continuous curve, and I don't mean she's curvy and sexy. I'm saying that, well, she is. Saying that every single move that she makes, even the way when her foot steps, like on the ball of her foot, so there's an arch, you know what I mean? Or her hand goes out, and it's like, it's never straight, it's never stiff. She's never, some people walk in, they shuffle, and they kind of like blend immediately with the wall. Mm-hmm. They're like wallflowers. Not this person. She comes in, and it's like, oh my God, here it goes. And you can see the music is automatically in her from the first step.
Yeah,
I would love
singing something in her head.
Yeah, and you know what she said to me? I saw this woman at an event, and I said to her, I can't dance. And she goes, oh, yes, you can. She goes, I'm going to make sure you learn how to dance. And so now I'm like choking on my words. The first person I thought of while I was having this experience, like, oh my God, when I face her the next time, like, I'm going to feel like an idiot and be like, you were right, I was wrong, kind of thing. And that's a beautiful, humbling experience too, is that all the things that you said when you do these experiences come right up to the surface. It's like the earth brings it up to your face, and it's like, remember when you said I would never do this, or remember when you said, and it's like, yeah, it's just a reminder from the universe to say, look, we've listened, we've heard you, we've heard all your prayers, we've heard all your desires. Like, there's no hiding from yourself, not from us. You know what I mean? And that's what comes up with this kind of journey work.
Yeah, it's like you're telling yourself the truth finally.
No, I think it's the earth. I think it's something more. I think it's the spiritual realm telling you the truth, honestly. Yeah. Almost like when Frank Castle used to talk about once you're on the ayahuasca trip and the journey, the way he would tell it was so like more expressive and candidly and powerful. But yeah, these entities appear, these things that are around us constantly appear. So
gnomes.
Oh, I didn't see the gnomes yet. Even those gnomes, you're scaring me with those gnomes. You made me
think. Peripheral, man. You're not going to see them straight ahead.
Hey, not for nothing, but you bring that up. Do you think, you just gave me a thought. Do you think in Willy Wonka, when they were talking about the Oompa Loompas, do you think somebody, because that was a psychedelic trippy thing when they got to that candy factory, do you think they were maybe suggesting that the gnomes were part of the trip when you're in that psychedelic state, like what you're talking about?
Loompa Land, there's no such place. Yeah, absolutely. We are in
We are the music makers. We are the dreamers of the dreams.
Oh, that's one of my
Snozzberries. Who's ever heard of Snozzberries?
Do you know if you listen to Willy Wonka in there, he speaks the mind of an elite. I think we've spoken about this on this show before. But yeah, every word he says, he will not answer the good question. When there's that gotcha question, and it's usually Mike D. TV, whatever the little kid with
Mike
the gun.
TV? Yeah, Mike TV.
He asks all the best questions, and he never gets an answer. He'll get you should open your mouth a little bit more when you speak. It'll make it a little bit more, something like that.
Do you want me to tell you
the questions?
Do you want me to tell you what happened when I met those people? I met them at one of those events like Chiller Theater, and they were all there, like doing signings and stuff. Do you want me to tell you after the break what happened?
Yeah, that's
because
fine.
I
We got
met
about
Salt
90 seconds till break time here. So, It is quickly approaching us. Quickly.
How did this segment go so fast?
Dude, this today, I think it was Liz maybe or Dawn one mentioned it on our first break. Like, I don't even know about what's going on with time today. It's more insane than it has been yet. It's not even funny.
Did Bruce send you or Josh or you? Did he send you anything last night?
If he did, I haven't seen it. Like, really and truly, I told you when I talked to you, I was about to shut it down and stop because I was going to have to wind down because, dude, my excitement level during this computer build is just insane. So
Did you build it? I saw the pictures.
It's assembled. I just haven't done anything else.
What operating system you put on it? Windows 10?
Yeah, right.
You put Windows 10 on it?
Haven't done anything yet.
You put Windows 10 on it?
I don't know. I don't want to, but I don't really know what choice I have.
Well, no, put it on there, and if you do, I'll give you a program that'll turn off all the telemetry and all the crap that Microsoft puts in to track it.
Well, see, that's the problem, is all those background processes just eat up everything.
No, I got something that turns all that off. It's called Blackbird V6. Look it up on Google.
We're out of here. We'll be right back.
Okay.
The reviews for Extendivite are amazing. Here are some from Amazon by Christine. Great for heart palpitations.
Here's a message of importance to millions of people who are continually pale and washed out, weak and run down. Doctors will tell you that these conditions are often caused by a deficiency of iron. The iron you need to keep you physically fit and mentally alert. Medical studies show that 2 out of 3 women and many, many men lack the daily iron your body requires in a form your body can easily use and put to work. Every dose gives you more than your daily minimum iron requirement.
We are the way, we are the way, we are not alone. We are striving for more.
So if you're not getting the iron your body needs, run down and are easily upset, start taking iron today.
Wow.
That's good stuff, yeah?
Dude, that's the first time that song made sense to me. After speak what I just spoke about. We are awake, we are aware. I never knew that. We're not alone.
Striving for more.
That's probably one of my favorite songs you play. I tell you that every time. If you guys don't know Boards of Canada, you guys should listen to their music. It's the same feeling, the same type of sound and vibe.
Who?
Was it Boards of Canada? Hold on. Yeah, Boards of Canada. Let me put this. Let me give you this song. 1 second. Yeah, Boards of Canada. Roy B. Jibb is what comes to mind. Hold on. Roy G. Biv. Yeah, that's the name of the song.
I like the name. While you're looking that up, shout out to Tommy, that flat fellow, dropping a sunglasses emoji for us there, a super chat. Good morning, sir. Glad to have you here. Thank you. Good morning to everybody there in chat. I have been less than chatty in chat today. Sorry, just a little distracted, trying to stay up with things here. Really intrigued by some of the experiences Jonathan from Jersey is sharing with us. If you weren't aware, that's who we are speaking with right now. But yeah, definitely, I spent a lot of time in my younger days psychonauting, if you will. And it's been something that's been on my mind really heavily. I guess really since Zach's experiences there with Ace McLeod not too long back. That kind of got me thinking about possibly heading down that path again.
You know what's interesting?
Just setting. Go ahead.
We all had to say a word at the beginning of what we were there for, our focus, and it was amazing to see how that focus or how that word related to our actual journey. And this one guy's word was courage. So he didn't have the experience. He's usually fully immersed, but he had done work earlier that day on himself with another person, like a shaman type work. And so he was kind of like withdrawn, but I said, dude, you weren't withdrawn. You were like the anchor for the masculine energy, because the men sat on one half of the circle and the women on the other. It was designed that way. And we even did mandalas in the beginning that we both designed. The women did theirs, the men did theirs. And it was so funny to see the difference in the way the mandalas presented themselves. The women's were very inviting and almost like a home for men to come to, right? The bed of flowers in the middle, right? They even had like a fertility goddess symbol, with the bigger hips. But they didn't even realize that they did this. And I'm pointing this out because I'm very in touch with my feminine side, right? I go into my inner gay and I just express it. And I'm pointing this out. I was like, wow, look at you women. And they're laughing at us, right? The more masculine women, because one of them came up to me, right? I think she was a lesbian, right? She looked like a lesbian. And she says to me, "Oh my God," she goes, "You know, want to hear something?" I go, "What?" She goes, "I must be more masculine because I really resonated with your guys' circle. Ours was very methodical. Ours was very mechanical and almost like architectural, where we put like, oh, here's 8 parts of the circle and here's 3 lines dividing. You know, it was like so like guyish. And here I am, of course, I'm putting the pretty touches, right? I'm putting like, oh, here's some star fruit. Let me dress up the center of the circle. And this place needs curtains, you know. It was really funny to see that dichotomy, that split. But at the same time, when we said these words, the one guy said courage, right, was his word. So after he said what he said, all of a sudden Spirit's like, go give him a gram of DMT, because I had the DMT with me. Right, the 10 grams. I didn't know what to do with it. So I said to my friend, I'm going to go put it on the altar. And he goes, no, you're not. I was like, what? He goes, you fucking, he starts cursing. He goes, you're not getting rid of that. I was like, I don't know what to do with it. And he goes, you're giving it to me, right? I'm like, no, I'm going to put it on the altar. I said, no. I said, maybe I'll just destroy it. I'll put it in the fire. I'll give it to the Mother Earth. And he starts like wigging out. Like, I guess, you know, he's that type, right? He wanted it. So I just kept teasing him all night. I was like, dude, I don't want it. I'm not doing it. It's not me. And I just, but I gave it to him at the end of the night. I wound up giving him the other 9. He was happy. But this guy took the 1 gram and I said, and he says, dude, he goes, this actually scares the crap out of me. He goes, I've heard about it, you know, the spirit molecule and all that. I said, well, dude, didn't you say your word was courage? I mean, didn't you say that's what well, the spirit world was saying here's your courage. You know what I mean? You want courage. Here you go. Are you afraid? Right? So it was kind of funny. It was ironic because I would never, I would never tell people, oh, here, take this, try this. I'm the opposite. I'm like, this is my experience. What Jonathan does, like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't recommend. If I jump off a bridge, I'm not saying follow me kind of thing. I don't proselytize with my Christian beliefs. You see what I'm saying? It's not my place. You know, so.
That's the best place to come from with any type of path of seeking. You know, I mean, if you're convinced before you go in, then what are you even doing it for?
Yeah. Well, you know, I've even had people see me successful with something, like even investing, right? When I've made certain investments. And I try telling people, look, I got an inside tip, and I would share it the way anybody know, you know, like, oh, I got a tip on this football game coming up. There's a 10-point spread. You share it with your close friends and family. But you leave it at that, right? You don't keep saying, oh, you should really put money in this, because you don't know their financial position. And then you're taking responsibility. God forbid they take a loss. Oh, you idiot. Like you told me. So I don't do these things. I don't even tell people. So when people have said to me, oh my God, what did you do? Like, and I'm like, why? I'm like, I want to do the same thing. You know, they'll see I have a spiritual journey or something. It's like, trust me, I'm so far down the path and I've had so many experiences that led up to this moment. Don't think you can just like get on right now and just, you know, start where I'm at here. Like, you don't want this experience. You don't want what it takes to get here. You don't want to go through the crap that it takes to get here. You know, the dark night of the soul and the grading and the knowing and the great alone that comes out of it. And yeah, there's that. So
see, now that's something I never even considered. That idea of the necessary mileage.
Let me put it to you.
Necessary mileage to be able to even grasp what might be presented.
That's Freemasonry, right?
Or there. Anything. I mean,
that's Freemasonry.
Pick it.
That's why Freemasonry is what it is.
Oh, you mean the build upon the layers, the levels?
Yep.
Right. Well, I mean,
not just that.
If you haven't seen the truth of JFK, then you'll never see the truth of 9/11. If you never saw that truth, then you'll never see the truth of vaccines. If you never saw that, what the fuck's flat Earth gonna do for you?
Well, this is it. Yeah, and it's right. Usually, people start at conspiracy 101 stuff before they move up to flat Earth, and that's like throwing people right in the fire. But here's the thing: you know, when you see like an Olympic athlete, and you see these girls that do incredible gymnastics, or even a ballerina, right? And then you hear them in an interview, like what it took to get there. Okay. And the young girl, let's say she just got a perfect 10, like in the Olympics. Remember that one when the girl sprained her ankle and she still ran down the thing and stuck it, and she landed on one foot, and the guy picks her up at the end, the big Russian trainer. Okay.
Oh yeah.
What they don't tell you, and sometimes they do, oh, I have to thank my parents because I would have to get up every day at 3:30 in the morning. My parents would take me to the gym. You know, swimmers, the same thing, any kind of athlete. And then I had to do my schoolwork. And then after that, I had to do. But this is like for years on end. And that's just to get to even the competition. That's not even saying like I've made it to the Olympics yet, right? And then a few select, because there is a cutoff, right? They can only take so many people, literally get eliminated. So all those years of practice and training were an effing waste. They never went beyond that level. You know what I'm saying? Or some people say, oh, I only made it to the college level. I never went pro. And so, yeah, to get to that part of the journey, you can't just jump in and say, oh, I want to do that. No, it doesn't work like that. You got to, if you didn't start at 4 or 5 years old, you ain't going to make it. You know, it doesn't work like that. So, I'm not saying people can't make it to where I'm at. I'm saying that when you literally let the earth take over and you don't try to force the experience, the universe will say, okay, you want to work? Okay, we got it. We got you. We're going to put you into the fast track on this and get you in touch with yourself really quick. And that's the beauty of it. Yeah. It bypasses your ego, so you don't even know it's happening. And then once it's happening, you're like, oh, okay. So Josh would know.
I bet it'd be an intense ride with you, sir, on a trip.
Who, you and me?
You, right. Me and you and whoever. Me and you and Josh and back, whatever.
Dude, I think Steppenwolf would start playing Magic Carpet in the background. I'd be afraid to journey with you. You kidding me?
It'd be rough. It'd be
It'd be rough as hell.
Now that's a nice Reservoir Dogs slow walk across the parking lot. The four of us tripping balls.
What? The four of us?
Yeah.
Four of us tripping balls, right?
Can I be Mr. Pink? Why are you laughing, Walt?
No, I want Mr. Pink. Oh, yeah.
Why does he get to be Mr. Black?
Mr. Black, Mr. Pink, Mr. Purple. No, you are who you are.
You are who I say you are. Everybody wants to be Mr. Black.
How do I get pulled into this psycho crazy show?
You know,
I fit right in. I really feel
that was the first movie. That was.
By the way, I got to tell you guys, I love you guys. I fit right in with you guys. I love you guys. I feel like you're my brothers, and that's the kind of energy, by the way, too. Oh my God, the I love you thing. You remember that scene in that movie, Big Trouble in Little China?
Well,
remember when they took that elixir and they're going down to fight?
I did.
They're all each other. Like, I feel pretty good right now. They're all like doing that thing with their hand.
Like I could do anything.
Yeah, I feel like I could do anything. I feel like invincible. Yeah. That's what it feels like when you do this stuff.
Big shout out to Dr. Law and his family. If you have any extra love and vibes to give, his brother's in the hospital with all the nonsense going on, and he's just dealing with all that. So if you have any extra to give, send some good vibes his way. He could use it right now.
Will do.
Just wanted to mention that. Yeah, he's a great guy.
I was wondering. I saw someone ask in chat as well, so thank you for that. Lots of love headed your way, friend.
Oh, speaking of shout outs, can I just give one shout out?
No.
Okay, never mind.
All right, go ahead.
That guy, what's his name? Zulu One, Mark, Zulu One?
Yep.
So he's doing a flat earth thing down at Flagler Beach in Florida. Did I mention this last time I was on air?
Not on air. I think you mentioned it to me, I think.
Oh, I mentioned it to you. Yeah, so I'm going to go. I'm going to go to this flat earth get together.
Yeah, I just hung out with Zulu last night.
What do you mean you hung out with him last night? Oh, that's right, because he was coming down. He was driving down.
Yeah.
So he did stop by your guys' house.
Yeah, good times.
Oh, get out. Where is he now?
For all?
For all.
He's at Karen B's.
He is at Karen B's. Okay, well, hey,
and
Karen,
he's getting ready to head out today.
Jersey.
Yeah,
I'm going
to head out today, and he's, making a couple stops. He'll be down there, and he's going to be back here for the conjunction, the 21st.
Oh, get out. That's so cool.
Yeah.
So he, I called him, I reached out to him, and I made believe I was just like somebody else. I changed my voice up a little bit. Not enough, I guess, but he thought at first, the first 5 seconds, he goes, I think this is Jonathan. Like, this guy sounds just like Jonathan. And I kept playing it cool, and I'm asking questions like, do you guys actually believe in a flat earth? Like, but not trolling. But he says to me, he goes, yeah, I thought you were trolling, but then you were very respectful, and it sounded like you wanted to learn. And then I felt so bad because the guy was so nice. I finally was like, dude, shut the fuck up. This is Jonathan from Jersey. And he's like, oh, my God, I knew it. And he's freaking out. And then I said, listen, I'm going to come to your thing on next Saturday. And he was like freaking out over that. And I was like, don't tell anybody. He's like, all right. But no, I'm going to go. I'm going to commit to it because I don't want to flounce. I don't want to make an excuse for not showing up. So I'm committing to it on air. So.
Yeah, his dad's going with him.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. I'm going to take pictures, by the way. I'm going to use my, bring my photography skills to the mix. And I think he said he wanted to do a group photo with the horizon of the ocean and all that stuff. So it's going to be fun.
Yeah, he was talking about you. Yeah, he said that you.
Oh, was he? Oh, he told you?
Yeah.
He told.
Huh.
He wasn't supposed to tell anybody. Now I'm not going to go.
Now I'm not going to go, just despite his gums.
It wasn't on the air, you know.
Zach just outed you, and you said you're only going to tell Jennifer. Now it's done, pal. We're done.
No, he's excited. You should see the energy in this guy right now. He is. It's just so cool being around him.
Yeah.
Even when he's not floating like this, the guy is a great guy. He is.
No, he
like
was really excited.
Yeah. Oh, dude. Just this whole trip, like, he was explaining what he's going to do, what he's been, what's happened so far. And it's like a little child telling you about his Christmas present.
This is probably what he needed after 2020, right? Everybody had their thing. And it's just, for me, I needed this journey, and he needed this.
Yeah. It's just so cool sharing that energy with him. Just standing next to him while he's talking about it, you feel better. You get, this. I think that's why I woke up at 2 o'clock. I still had Zulu energy in me.
By the way, are you up in Savannah?
No, further north. Just outside of Spartanburg, just northeast of Greenville.
Okay.
In South Carolina, yeah.
Because what I was going to suggest is, if I go up to see my son, I was thinking of flying because the flights are cheap, but it'd be easier for me to take my car because I can stop and see some people along the way and stay at my cousin's house and not deal with the whole plane thing and restrictions. So if I do, I'd like to stop by and say hi.
Absolutely, yeah.
Cool, man.
Lucky.
You're not too far off the beaten path.
No, you got to come stand on the river. Just take in for a minute. Yeah, it's...
Where do you live relative to Karen Bay and all those?
Doorstep to doorstep, 33 miles. It says
is that right?
Yeah.
I should show up at a doorstep.
If you drive it, it's 33 miles to Karen B's doorstep.
All right, well, you get in the car. We'll show up. I'll bring some arugula or some pound cake, and we'll say, "Hey, what's going on?"
It's just a coincidence y'all live 33 miles apart.
Yeah, Cammy could not believe that. It's not, 32.9 or 33.1. It's like 33.0. It's funny. Like, you can't write that stuff.
I love this house, Bob, but it's only 40 miles away. We got to come a little closer.
Yeah, no, the river sold it. That was the key component in this house. I mean, it had, the high-speed internet and all the stuff and the nice size yard and all that. Some of the stuff they wanted, but the river, Cammie wanted water in the backyard. She wanted a stream. And then when they saw this, and Bob saw Cammie light up after seeing this, just looking down there, he was like, okay, we got to get this place. Yeah, it's that magical down there. It is. It's beautiful. People walk by all the time. It's like it is private property along the back, but there's like a hill, and then it really drops off in everybody's yard. And there's another flat part that goes along the river. And even though it's private property, it's like a community accepted thing that we all just, everybody allows everybody to walk up and down the river. And yeah, it's cool. But a lot of people, I've noticed a lot of the younger people, since I cleared it out and made it easier to get out there and stuff, have been coming out and hanging out there a lot.
Oh, very cool.
It makes me feel good.
What were you guys talking about in the first hour before I got on, by the way?
Nothing.
Oh, okay.
Space lettuce.
We dabbled in a bit of lettuce, which is rare.
I still don't know what
days.
space lettuce is. What does that mean exactly? What's the exact definition of space lettuce?
So, it was just saying, well, I remember seeing a story talking about how they were growing lettuce in space for the first time.
I think I did ask you this. Go ahead.
And then about 9 months later, I saw an article where they were growing lettuce in space for the first time. And I guess it was like another year or so, I saw they were growing lettuce in space. For the first time, it was being reported. So just them recycling the same tired-ass bullshit reification of this heliocentric model with using these nonsensical stories. So basically, any nonsense that NASA puts out has become space lettuce, essentially. Hey, guess what? It's raining diamonds.
Okay, space lettuce it is.
So it's just become space lettuce because they just have all these.
The recycling of nonsense.
The recycling of nonsense. I mean, they do change it up. Last week it was space radishes, so they're getting salads out of it, but you know, it's not always lettuce per se anymore. But
space lettuce.
They just grew radishes in space for the first time.
Insert male name here. Well, this is insert plant you eat here.
Yep.
And they just change it up.
They baked cookies in space for the first time a couple months ago.
What?
Oh yeah.
Sent them back to Earth to be examined.
Wait, they actually they baked cookies in space, and how much did that cost the American taxpayer?
How much do you think it costs for them to send an Easy Bake Oven to space?
Bro, I was just gonna say, use an Easy Bake Oven with a 100-watt bulb.
No.
Shouldn't they have the technology up there to just cook something like that?
Just hold it out the window, right?
Shouldn't there be
And
friction,
the vacuum
right?
of space with no atmosphere to protect it.
A
That's like
scientific
the microwave of all microwaves, right?
Oh, by the way, I got a microwave tip for you guys. The microwave here at the house wasn't working. Like, you turn it on, there was no heat. It wouldn't cook.
I thought it was a story earlier today. We had a conversation about those big monoliths that they found, and Walt said that that's the pull tab for the battery so that you can get it out of the demo mode.
Yeah, oh, you know about this? It was in demo mode on the microwave.
Well, I just remember reading this on Facebook, so I didn't mean to steal your thunder.
Oh, okay. Oh, you saw it.
Awesome.
Okay.
That's awesome.
So nobody could get it to work, and there was no options button to get it out. So it turns out you got to hold down the start enter key for 3 seconds, and it'll say letter L, like locked, and then you do it again, and it resets the whole machine. Like, even unplugging it didn't work. But they do that because, I guess, the little kids, when they're with their parents at the appliance store, don't put shit in there and turn it on and melt it. You know, they have it so there's no power, and which is safe. That's cool that they have that mode. But yeah, so I feel bad for all the people that probably took their microwave to some guy at an appliance store. It's like, oh yeah, $200, I could fix it. You might as well buy a new one, right? They're so cheap now. But this is like an over the stove one. Yeah.
There you go. You just got to pull the tabs and then wait for the great reset. Gotcha.
Pull the tabs. Is that little thing that they put in like the batteries before you start it? The little pull tab?
Right, the little pull tab to get it out of the way so it starts working
the
right.
Plastic, yeah. Oh my God. We're all over the place with this show, but at the same time, we're singularly focused on something, but
some indefinable thing, right?
I give you guys credit for your passion.
That's right.
Passionate about what? I don't know.
I don't know what, but my God, it's there.
Things slowly coming to an end here, gentlemen.
No doubt.
Quickly, actually.
No, it's actually creeping up on us. Yeah. Man, this time has been bizarrely twisted. I mean, I got here late, but it's still really weird. Comments on it in chat.
By fast.
Fingers crossed.
Well, you got to go to work, so yeah, hopefully for you. And then it slows down around 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock.
That'd be nice.
Yeah. How's work, by the way? Good?
Yeah, going good. Having fun. Learning stuff.
Good.
Impressing the bosses. So.
Yeah, I know you work for the man, right? You work for...
The military industrial complex? Yes, I do. Yeah. I make sure that, when the military wants to kill brown babies, they can do so efficiently.
Oh my God. You did not just say that.
Well, sure.
You out Jonathan.
I know that was like, even for Jonathan, that was pretty not PC. Holy crap.
The only
it's
bumper
possible
sticker I
before
ever
we get
had-
out here. Oh, I'm sorry, go Zach.
I was going to say the only bumper sticker I ever had before the flat Earth one that's on my truck now was join the army, travel to far off exotic lands, meet strange new people, and then kill them.
It's pretty accurate.
So it's possible, quite possible, we'll have a guest here with us Friday morning, possibly.
Oh, nice.
Jonathan.
I'm going to reach out to him today because I did send that email rather late, so maybe he didn't even get it yet.
That's
But
fine. I just wanted to kind of tease that a bit for everybody listening and watching with us here. Speaking of, thank you all in chat. Again, I wasn't very chatty. Just kind of stayed out because I knew I would get distracted. Not enough sleep, not enough caffeine. But thank you for showing up, sir. Always a pleasure, Jonathan. Truly. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, it was fun.
Oh, and I love you guys again. Thank you for everything, man. You're my brothers.
Absolutely.
Well, love you too.
Much love.
Yeah.
Yeah, it feels good, doesn't it? I love it.
I love you, bro. And you know what's funny? When I give a hug, I give like a bear hug, and people aren't used to it. So I'm like, so the guys will do the pat on the back, and I was like, get over here, and I'm like, I'll hug them, I'll pull them in, and they start laughing. It's like, hug, just hug, man.
Just hug.
Just like chill.
Oh, wait till you meet Zulu, dude. He gives great hugs.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's a
Gonna be
big
a
teddy
cuddle
bear
puddle?
hug. It's a big teddy bear hug. He's awesome, dude. You're gonna love him.
Nice.
Somebody said we look
But y'all, thank y'all so much. We'll see y'all
Love y'all.
Friday morning right here.
Sounds good.
soon.
Never miss an opportunity to tell the people you love that you love them. Go press your heart resonator up against their heart resonator and see the magic that happens. Love you guys. Be good. Be well. We'll see you back here Friday morning. Bye-bye.